Tesla announced a big milestone today. 1 million vehicles produced in China have been exported globally. And in fact, many people watching this very video own some of these vehicles. A few years ago, when Tesla announced their Shanghai factory, a truly brilliant strategic decision, the company was met with a lot of ridicule and skepticism from many in the media. Yet less than 12 months after announcing the site, the first vehicles began rolling off production lines. Absolutely phenomenal. And as of today, Tesla's lowest cost vehicles to produce are made in Shanghai. At the same time, many of Tesla's so-called competitors, legacy automotive companies, are pulling out of China. They've seen their profits go from minimal to negative to, wait, why are we still, let's just get the fuck out of here, which is exactly what's happened. And one final comment before we move on, and there's lots to discuss in today's video. This is why I always want to claw my eyeballs out when I see people fixated on Tesla's China sales. Tesla has a factory in China that produces vehicles to export globally and also to sell in China. There's a huge amount of volatility and fluctuations. Some months and some quarters, they're loading up cargo ships to go to Australia or Singapore or some other region. And in others, more of the vehicles are being sold locally in China. Reading into the sales data in a specific region as opposed to globally tells you nothing, especially China. As we see here, 1 million of the vehicles that people were panicking, oh my God, Tesla China, the sales collapsed this month, what's going on? 1 million of the cars in the last couple of years have been shipped outside of China. Congrats to the Tesla team. Here's to the next 1, 2, 5 and 10 million vehicles. Meanwhile, Rivian founder and CEO RJ Scaringe talks Tesla.
There's one great network at scale today, which is Tesla's network. And if you were to measure the quality of a network by two things, I'd say it's density of chargers and then the uptime, meaning like how often they work. And for anybody that has an electric vehicle that's used some of the other networks, one of the most frustrating things in the world is you're on a road trip, you pull into a charger, you don't have a lot of time, you plug it in, and the charger's broken. So
first of all, isn't it amazing to see somebody telling the truth about Tesla and accurately praising their network? This is a very positive sign from a leader of a company supposedly competing with Tesla if they're willing to tell the truth. The opposite would be, for example, stealing Tesla's valor in collusion with the extremely corrupt former President of the United States and current late onset dementia patient, claiming that you electrified the industry and you did it and you matter and you led, and not saying, well, actually, no, it was Tesla, but thanks. That would be the opposite. And to RJ's point about the so-called competing networks, he's right. This shouldn't even be an issue, but they're so bad and so unreliable. This is a very common experience. Networks like Electrify My Asshole are so bad, you can almost expect chargers to be down, broken, or stop charging in the middle of a charge. It's reasonable to say that there's only one reliable charging network in the United States, and that's Tesla's supercharger network. There's one. And smart companies like Rivian have realized, well, unless we build a competing network, very capital intensive, that's equally as reliable, not easy, we don't have any choice but to come crawling to Tesla and ask to use their network, which is, by the way, Tesla's opened it up to everyone. And of course, Tesla didn't need to do this. It's not in their interest in terms of allowing the supposed competition to utilize their charging network, because then Tesla solved one of the biggest problems and pain points for their so-called competition: fast, reliable, ubiquitous charging. And some people might wonder, well, why would Tesla do this? Why would they allow their so-called competition such an incredible advantage, level of playing field? I mean, for most customers, right, charging is important. And the reason is because Tesla's actually doing what they said they would do in their original mission statement, which is not fuck the competition into oblivion, although that will be a side effect of them just being so much better and having a huge technological lead. Their goal is to accelerate, keyword accelerate, the world's, not Tesla's, the world's transition to sustainable energy. They're trying to do good. Back to RJ.
Our network today, which is amazingly and indicatively, to my point, it's the fourth largest network in the United States. We're just getting started building it. Us and Tesla are the only two networks that have uptime that's close to 100%. Tesla's like 99% or 98.5%. So the reason I say all that is we put an agreement together with Tesla that allows us to access their network. A number of other manufacturers have done this as well. And our network, we're about to open up. So today it's Rivian only. I'm really excited to open it up so that there are two great networks being built in the United States. We hope more.
So look, I'm going to say it. Crazy of Rivian to be attempting to build their own network. I understand. And I personally think there may actually be more of a marketing angle than it appears. For example, if your brand is positioned as producing vehicles for weekend trips, for the outdoors, these kind of things, Perhaps you may start building out your quote-unquote charging network in specific locations that align strongly with the brand that you're trying to create. For example, Rivian opening a charging site near Yosemite National Park. I'm not being a hater here, but I think it's possible that Rivian's charging network may actually be as much an investment in branding and marketing, e.g. if you like the outdoors and love spending time in national parks and camping overnight, buy a Rivian. Look, we got chargers in Yosemite and Yellowstone and pick your national park. That would actually be a worthwhile investment, even if the charging network itself doesn't really reach meaningful scale or have a big impact. The investment, in terms of your brand, might actually make sense. But if you're an electric vehicle manufacturer, the costs involved in building out a comprehensive, reliable and ubiquitous network, as opposed to a few chargers in some select locations. Unless you're already at massive scale and quite profitable, why would you bother when Tesla's already built out a network and have demonstrated their willingness to allow you to access said network, which itself continues to grow? Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now look, my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory about Rivian perhaps selectively building charging stations in particular locations that may align with and or enhance the brand they're trying to create is obviously clearly unhinged. But just wanted to share this on screen now. If they were doing that, I tell you what, they're doing a decent job. Here's an interesting quote. When we looked at where we want to put charging outposts, even the name outposts, it's got that invention. It is always in support of getting you to your next adventure. Yeah, so again, a conspiracy alert, I think that's what they're doing. Let's click their full list of charging sites and what's coming soon. This could be telling. Fuck off with the cookies. Let's see here. Charging power electric adventure at home. Yeah, whatever, cool. Where are the sites that you promised? Okay. Now this is interesting. Look at this. The map of the charging sites. Tesla superchargers. Rivian's Adventure Network coming soon, and Rivian Waypoints network. So it appears the yellow things are actually Rivian's own network. And what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planned sites. Interesting. So let's just read the definition of the Rivian Adventure Network, which we're looking at here, the yellow, versus the Rivian Waypoints network. The Adventure Network, the yellow sites, just a handful of them. DC fast chargers built for Rivian owners. Rivian claims they'll be installing 3,500 plus of these chargers at approximately 600 sites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, 600. Yep, I can count. Yep, totally. What? I'm a bit confused about that. Doesn't look even close to 600. Does anyone know what's going on here? How about the Rivian Waypoints? Top off while you're out. Find these level 2 chargers where you shop, play, stay and eat. Okay, so these are just chargers, not actually a dedicated, for example, it's not like a Tesla supercharger station, I guess you'd call it, but instead an outlet to charge somewhere else, like in a parking lot, hotel, wherever the fuck. Gotcha. And again, watch what happens when I click compatible Tesla superchargers on the map. Bam. Why even bother Rivian? And the answer, I think, is really just relating to brand. By the way, it totally makes sense for Rivian to install some chargers where they can in parking lots, like whatever. But building out their own network, I really think this is a branding exercise more than customers need these chargers. I mean, look, just again, I'm flicking on and off between the Rivian Adventure Network on the map. See these yellow dots? They're sitting on top of green that's already there from Tesla, so why bother? Anyway, back to RJ.
We hope lots of investment starts to flow and you see other people invest to build out these networks. But in my view, there needs to be more than 2 high-quality sources of energy for driving longer distances.
But when it comes to making that decision, do you regret it? I mean, do you feel like Elon or Tesla sort of presented you with a false bill of goods?
Look, we wish the adapter.
What the fuck kind of what? So RJ is explaining how they're utilizing Tesla's network, also building their own. And this media NPC asks, "Do you regret gaining access to Tesla's charging network? Do you feel like Musk lied to you, sold you a false bill of goods?" What the fuck is this guy talking about? Oh wait, he's a media NPC. This is straight up one of the dumbest things I've ever heard asked ever.
The ramp up was faster. There's Tesla adapters. There's also, we've independently developed something that's ramping. The supply chains are complex. Ramp up. This is not some intentional slowing of the ramp of that supply chain. Tesla's been a great partner to us on this, and we've particularly. You think about all the noise that happens and you maybe imagine that there's some tension that exists between top of house between these two companies. That's not the case. But more than that, at a working level, the teams work great. I mean, engineers work really well with engineers. So our engineers work close with the Tesla supercharger team to make sure that there's a beautiful software integration. I had a customer come to me the other day and he's like, "I couldn't believe I pulled in a Tesla station, I plugged in my Rivian, And it just worked.
Yeah.
And like behind the scenes, of course, we made sure all the credit card information between our account was shared with Tesla, but it was like so seamless that it was zero thought had to go into it. And that's because our engineers work really well with the Tesla engineers.
Credit to RJ for speaking the truth, and fuck that clown from the media. But then again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You don't hate the mainstream media enough because they hate you and hate humanity. Why? I just can't believe him trying to distort this into something negative. Tesla opening up their network to their competition, removing Tesla's major moat around ubiquitous, reliable, fast charging. Elon bad, complete. What a clown. Evidently, a massive expansion in electric vehicle charges is necessary as electric vehicle sales continue to surge over time. On screen now. Electric vehicle sales per quarter in the United States over the last couple of years. In the first quarter of 2022, total electric vehicle sales in the United States may be 165,000 units. Cox Automotive estimate for Q3 2024, which ends in a couple of days, almost 350,000 electric vehicles will be sold. Now, I'm not very good at math, but that's not far off a doubling in just a couple of years. More interestingly, however, EV share of all new vehicles sold in the United States about to hit 9%. Last year, roughly 10% of all new vehicles sold globally were electric. The US lagging a little bit behind, but following quite closely. Let's just round the numbers a little. Let's just say that we're at 10% in the US, give or take, and we've seen a doubling approximately in just a couple of years. How many times do you need to double 10% until you're at 100%? Spoiler alert, it's not that many. Now, despite some volatility, which will continue, keeping in mind, internal combustion engine vehicle manufacturers today are panicking hard. Most of them have scaled back their EV ambitions and instead have opted to go bankrupt slowly and instead milk their ICE vehicle business for as much as they can. Offer heavy discounts on their internal combustion engine vehicles. Try to trick dumb consumers, which by the way works, into buying hybrids, which are ICE vehicles with a tiny little battery in them. And this is going to cause some strange anomalies in the data. In a completely logical world, EV sales will just continuously and smoothly climb as their costs come down over time. But that's not quite what we'll see. However, the trend is pretty clear. Over the last couple of years, green bar, go up. Blue line, go up. EVs, go up. Take note, folks, some historical data on electric vehicle sales. Now, you can forget fake EVs in blue here. Cut everything down to roughly 3/4, right? Fake electric vehicles don't count. In 2023, electric vehicle sales, roughly 10% of all new vehicles sold. In 2017, they were about 1%. So we've seen a 10x in just over half a decade. We'd also seen roughly a 10x in the preceding roughly half a decade. So what if, just hypothetically, what if we were to see another roughly 10x in electric vehicle sales over roughly the next half a decade? Maybe 6 or 7 years. What's 10 times 10? Oh wait, that's 100. Okay. So I think what I'm trying to suggest is that if this rate of electric vehicle sales penetration continues, electric vehicles are likely to be roughly, not all, but roughly 100% of all new vehicles sold by roughly the end of this decade. I don't think too many people think that's likely to happen. I, however, do. As I record this, approximately 0 of the so-called experts, 0 of the automotive analysts, and 0 of the legacy automotive companies, at least based on their public statements, think that this is even close to possible. Just between you and I, I've got a funny feeling that some of the world's legacy automotive companies, especially the really large ones, I'm looking at you, Toyota and Volkswagen, are in for a very, very challenging half decade or so. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. Plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month's supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.